Hey guys, it's me. I was just waiting for some people. Hey Steven. Steven's here. Wait till we get a few more people. And I'm pretty tired. I've had a long week. I mean, I guess that's the normal. But I did make it home in time to do a promo tonight. I usually do these promos at 6, and then on Fridays at 7, usually Metal Pete comes over and we test fans. And I believe that's still happening tonight. Hey, baby. My wife is here. We'll wait till we get a few more people before we start talking. So let's see. Interesting. It doesn't look like too much is showing up yet. So, well, for the people that are watching later, I'll get started. And first of all, you know, the point of these promos is first and foremost to talk about the upcoming episode. So we have, I think, 2 more episodes in this season of MUSiPOLiTiX. I don't know exactly how we're treating the end of season, but I thought Election Day was kind of a good, you know, so I thought Election Day was a good way to end the season, but I also thought we'd start the new season in January, and we're probably not going to go for 2 months without doing anything. So I don't know if we do like a Christmas episode or if we do episodes in November. I don't know if those would be part of the first season or the second season. So I don't know. But either way, on this coming Tuesday, we have the last episode in our 3-part series featuring Black women politicians from around the world. And that's been, the first one was Judge Dominique Collins. Second one was Representative Sheila Stubbs. And then we have Representative Jasmine Crockett. And, you know, these are people that I knew Sheila Stubbs for a long time, but I'd never really talked to her about her political career before, as you know if you watched the episode. And I only knew Judge Collins through seeing her on Maya's voting panel. And so, you know, I knew what I was getting into with both of them, but I didn't really know what I was getting into. And Michael knew less than I did because he hadn't seen either of those things. And they turned out to be amazing. I mean, they just, you know, in both cases, they are just dropping wisdom for a whole episode. And Michael and I are just sitting there like, you know, so, you know, this has been a really great series. And it has reinforced my my recent statement about Black women being superheroes, because it just seems like in whatever field you're in, the most impressive people tend to be Black women. Hey, Brandy. Brandy's here. Go on ahead, Stephen and Brandy, and share this promo so that other people know. Because for some reason, we don't have very many people tonight. We had a huge crowd on Monday, I think it was. Whatever the last time was I did a promo, we had like a couple dozen people, which is quite a lot to be watching a promo live. So yeah, Representative Jasmine Crockett, I watched, it's a long story short, but Maya had a panel a few months ago on the importance of voting and voter suppression and all that kind of stuff, just talking about a lot of the same stuff that MUSiPOLiTiX talks about. And I watched it, and Nia and I watched it in part because it was Maya's, and in part because Councilman Awe was on there, and we love him. And so, of course, he was one of the favorites, and then the judge and Representative Jasmine were the other 2 favorites, and so I reached out to them. So that's where we got her. Then, of course, the following Tuesday is election night. Now, Nia and I have already voted. We did early voting on the second day of early voting. So thankfully, we won't have to go anywhere on Election Day. So we can just look forward to hanging out with Soul Asylum. And hopefully everybody else will have already voted, so they won't be in line, and they can instead be at home hanging with us on MUSiPOLiTiX. But if not, you can always watch it on your phone while you're in line waiting to vote. So that's what we got coming up. Second of all, I wanted to wait until we were on the TV. I got a gift from Maya in the mail. And I opened the envelope because I didn't know what it was, but then when I saw it was all nicely packaged, I didn't open it yet. Come on. She had to do this herself. There's no way that whatever service she uses to print would go to this level of care. So that's just to tell you something else about the greatness of Maya. Balance means making sure you pray as much as you cuss. I saw this when she wore it, and I wanted one, and she sent it to me. I'm still going to order one when they come out in black. I think they were out of black, and so she sent me a gray. But I'm still going to order a black one. I'll put it over there, and that's why I'm wearing my Be a Possibility tee again tonight, because Team Maya. What else? I came from the hospital today, so they're still trying to figure out what's wrong with me as a follow-up to COVID, and I won't get the results until later this week. I'm wearing these funky glasses because they were the only. I always try to wear funkier glasses for the videos, even if it's just the promos, instead of like my plain. Like, here's my plain ones that I'll be wearing later for working on fans. You know, I look good in anything, but these aren't as funky. These actually have the wrong prescription, though, so they actually are sending me replacements, and the replacements get here Monday. So I can see out of them, but not as well. And so I'm actually they're sending me replacements for, hey, wife, well, let me go upstairs then. Yeah, I think that's all I have to talk about. Oh, for the ceiling fan people, which is not normally the people that watch and hang out with the promos in the show, except Steven's from the Ceiling Fan family. And I think that's how we found Vismay, and I haven't seen him yet today. He could be here. Yeah, Metal Pete and I went into 12 Wings yesterday and took down most of the fans. And we're going to go back in next week and take down any of the rest of the fans that we or anybody else want. So if there's anybody watching that's from the Ceiling Fan community that has questions, now's your time to ask them, because I'm not really, otherwise, whatever I talk about in the videos is what you're going to find out. So, what else we got? Okay. Well, it looks like I'll end the promo on time tonight. In fact, early. If I ended at 10 minutes, then I am, in fact, 5 minutes early. And I have nothing else to talk about. And I did announce in the group earlier that I wasn't sure if I was going to get to do one tonight, which is probably why we don't have a strong audience tonight. No. Good question, Brandy. So, you know, Michael and I are still in discussion about what to do after the 3rd. And we're both ready for a break, but we also kind of acknowledge that maybe the best time to take a break isn't right after the election. So my idea was, let's, you know, end the season, but then do like a Thanksgiving episode, a Christmas episode, start again in January. You know, so that was my idea, but then our wives both thought we should keep going and not take a break. And yeah, plus, I mean, just with the different stuff going on in our lives, you know, who knows how long we'll be able to continue doing this for. So we really, you know, we don't know yet. I started the conversation to kind of see where everybody's head was at. And, you know, and then I just, you know, kind of waiting to see what happens as we get closer. As if nothing changes, then we'll be breaking after election night, and then we'll have to decide when to come back. That's the current plan. But again, both of our wives want us to not break after election night, and so we'll see. Because on the one hand, there's a lot. It's like I said, there's a lot that goes on with this, both behind the scenes as well as it's, mentally exhausting. Even if you only think about the 2 hours a week that we're actually on the air, just the mental prep that goes into it, not to mention the booking and the promo and everything else. And it's a big part of my week. I can't speak for Michael and how much time he devotes to it, mentally and otherwise. But for me, like, okay, so Monday I got to at least make sure I'm home in time to do a promo. Tuesday I try not to do anything else so that my head is clear and that I'm, ready for Tuesday nights. Wednesday, I start getting the flyer and the event and everything together for the following week's episode. If I don't do that Wednesday, I do it on Thursday. Friday, I try to be home in time again to do a promo. Saturday and Sunday, I don't do anything related to the show because Saturday is kind of my off day with my wife, and Sunday's my biggest work day for music work. So I do my testing on. Well, it's not supposed to be. My email that I send out to prospective guests says that this test has to be done by Friday, but people don't always do what you ask. And yeah, then that's not even counting the time that it takes to find guests and the communication that it takes with them, and and then some guests make you jump through hoops, and some are just like, oh great, I'm there. With some of the politicians, sometimes you have to deal with their staff. I'm trying to think of who else. So obviously with Dave, we have Janine, and then the Soul Asylum management. With some of the politicians, and I won't say which ones, you have staff that you have to deal with as opposed to like talking directly to the person. And that has less to do with them being like, they're too big time to do it. It just, a lot of times they don't control their own schedules. They have somebody else that does their scheduling, and to make sure that they're free, and to make sure that everything is vetted through the blah, blah, blahs and the et ceteras. I'm trying to think of who else I've had but yeah, the point is that sometimes it's not as easy as just asking a guest like, hey, will you do this? Yes, great. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's as simple as saying, hey, will you be on the show? And they'll say yes. And then that's all there is to it. That's a good point, baby. You're discouraging me from coming upstairs as I was going to do with your mockery. So, okay, well, we can still end on time. Not so much early, we can still end on time. Brandy, I hope that answers your question. Yes, I know. And we appreciate that you appreciate it. We appreciate the loyal followers. Make sure you say that kind of stuff to Michael, too, because Michael doesn't always check all the same stuff that I check. He has less of an internet presence than I do. So a private message to him every so often, just saying, hey, how much you appreciate not just the show, but his participation in the show. Sometimes I think he needs to hear that too. So, I would, and he doesn't check all the comments for things, and he doesn't watch the promos, but he does check all of his private messages. So that's something that I would suggest, because this is taxing. Just talking about tough stuff, even if you forget any of the behind the scenes work that goes into it, just talking about tough topics and putting yourself out there and your reputation and your face and everything else associated with, there's backlash and, it's taxing. And so, I get at least the response from you guys on these promos, which isn't like when somebody consistently watches the promos and comments, then that's all I need to know that you appreciate it, because you're here. Showing up is the biggest part of it. But again, I think Michael needs to hear it too. So I would for anybody who's stuck with this much of the promo, that's something I would suggest that you do, especially if we're gonna continue this type of a schedule either after election day or just going forward into the new year. Because again, it's taxing and sometimes it's discouraging. So, yeah, like I said, I hope that answers your question. We will, Yeah, Nia says, I was just imagining Michael doing a promo. That would be interesting. I initially tried to get him to do them with me, but Michael is a lot more careful than I am about his words going out into the public, because I think that, I don't want to speak for him, but I think that stems from his time with Prince and him seeing how when you say the wrong thing and it, oh, yeah, exactly. Well, he was the one that suggested I do promos. He was like, you should do a video on Mondays to let people know. And that was exactly what he was thinking. He was thinking like a 30-second video. Yeah. So, but then because people want to hang out and people want to back and forth, and it is kind of a nice sense of community, especially when we argue about pizza. I've taken to doing them live and having a little more of a hangout. So, okay. Hey, Maya, did you miss? I don't even know where I did with it. I unboxed your gift on camera. If you missed that, I did that, and I'm wearing that's why I'm wearing my Be a Possibility shirt, because I was gonna. So I guess I threw it somewhere. I don't know. It's around here somewhere. But thank you for the gift, Maya. And I'm now over. So I was unsuccessful in ending on time, but I blame Brandy for asking a really good follow-up question. Was it Brandy? Yes, it was Brandy that asked a good question. And I think that's it. So anything else? Because now again, if you guys know me, you know that I look at the clock and I try to end on an even number. So now I'm shooting to be done at 20 minutes, which is like 2 minutes from now. So anything else you want me to cover in 2 minutes? I'll just wait and give a minute for anybody to chime in. And then if nothing else, then we'll end the promo. And I will see you guys on Tuesday. That's how long of a week I'm having. I had to remember what day was today and what day. No, I won't see you on Tuesday. I'll see you on Monday. See, I'm screwing it up. Monday is the best promo day, because then our promo leads right into Monday Moment with Maya, and there's a nice little break in between that you can go and get the type of pizza of your choice. So I'll put Nia's alleged Michael quote up there. Okay, I think we're going to end it. I'm going to end it just... I guess my OCD will have to take the hit, because it looks like I'm going to end it at 19 minutes. But thanks, everyone. See you Monday.